guys, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Don't Drop That Thun Thun by the Finatticz. And we're going to start out actually kind of a root position. We're going to end up capoing this on 3rd fret. But we're going to start out with a really cool bass line actually that kind of goes through the song. It kind of starts out with the open E, and then we're going to play 3rd fret on the low E string, and then open A, and then 3rd fret on the low E string, and then we're going to do all that again. So we go open E, 3rd fret on the low E, open A, 3rd fret on the low E, open E, 3rd fret on the low E, open A, 3rd fret on the low E, and then we go to 2nd fret on the A string, and then go 3rd fret on the A string, and then 2nd fret on the A string, and then open A. So we're kind of going E, G, A, G, E, G, A, G, E, G, A, G, B, C, B, A is kind of that main riff through the tune. Now later on there's some cool wood blocks actually that kind of get added in, or kind of a keyboard wood block sound. And if you wanted to, you could almost kind of hybrid pick, where you use your pick to kind of play in a bass and kind of a finger to kind of add in some open E strings to that. So you could have the open E with the open E, so E's together, and then 3rd fret on the low E string, and then open A and open E together, and then 3rd fret on the low E, and then open E's together, and then 3rd fret on the low E, open A and open E together, and then 3rd fret on the low E, and then open E's together, and then 3rd fret on the low E, and then open A and open E together, and then 3rd fret on the low E, and then 2nd fret on the A string with the open E, and then 3rd fret on the A string, and then 2nd fret on the A string, and then open A and open E. So if you wanted to, you could kind of accent that too, where you can have E's, G, and E, G, E's, G, and E's, G, E's, G, and E's, G, B, and E, C, B, A, and E. And then there's a cool little tagline that actually comes in on that riff later on in the song, where you can kind of play open B, and then 3rd fret on the G string, and then 2nd fret on the G string, and then open G string. So it's kind of a tag or lead in to kind of come back. You can kind of use that B, B flat A, G, B, B flat A, G, or open B, 3, 2, O on the G string. But the chords that would kind of back up that lick actually would start on an E minor chord. And the way you play E minor, first finger is going to go to the A string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the D string on the 2nd fret. If you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord that sounds really, really sad. And then for the G note actually in the bass, I would think about kind of backing that up with the G major chord. And the way you play G major, first finger is going to actually kind of stay on the 2nd fret on the A string, the 2nd finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, and 3rd finger on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and that sounds really, really happy. And then for the open A note that gets played, actually I'm thinking about backing that up with an A major chord. And the way you play A major, first finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the B string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. So we could kind of back up those notes like E minor, G, A, G, E minor, G, A, G, E minor, G, A, G. And then we get to that 2nd fret on the A string. I'm thinking about playing a B7 or B dominant 7 chord. And the way we play B7, first finger is going to go to the D string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, and then 3rd finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, and the pinky on the high E string on the 2nd fret. And if you kind of strum just the A string to the high E string, that sounds like B7 or B dominant 7 chord. It sounds really, really nasty, and it's kind of supposed to. So all the way through that whole intro, you could have E minor, G, A, G, E minor, G, A, G, E minor, G, A, G, B7. But a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you took the E minor and just tried that a lot to get used to it, you'd have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now one way to kind of strum through the tune actually and kind of back up your voice through the tune would be kind of actually just using just the E minor and the G chord actually, and then kind of hitting the B7 with the strum pattern. And we can sound a lot like the recording actually for where they're making that change, is do the E minor with kind of a down, down, and then hit the G with the up, up, down, up. So if we tried that, we'd have E minor with the down, down, G on the up, down, E minor on the down, G on the up, down, E minor on the down, G on the up, down, up. And then you can kind of go to the B7 for your whole strum pattern, down, up, down, up. Although there are a couple places places in the song actually where you may just want to kind of hit that with kind of a down and kind of kill it with the right hand. Actually, it's kind of stop time kind of idea. But if we tried that all the way through, we'd have E minor on the down, down, G on the up, down, E minor on the down, down, G on the up, down, E minor on the down, down, G on the up, down, B7, down, down, up, down, up. Now, if you're a little bit more adventurous, you could try and get in that A major chord actually on the last down up that we're doing. And this can be kind of tricky, but you could have E minor with a down, down, G on the up, A with a down, up, E minor down, down, G on the up, A down, E minor down, down, G on the up, A down, B7 down, down, up, down, up. So that might be another way you want to kind of work it. And for myself, actually, a lot of times with a song like this, to kind of make it more interesting, I like adding something called bass notes. And a lot of times on the first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So for instance, on the E minor, you can do the low E string for the bass, and then kind of keep your down, up, down, up. So E minor with low E bass, down, up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, up, down. Now on the G chord, if we were going to do the bass, we'd have the low E string for your bass for the G chord. On the A chord, if we were going to do the bass, we'd have the A string for the bass. So A with an A bass. And then for the B7, we'd have the A string for the bass on the B7 chord. But one way to use the basses through the tune would be kind of doing the E minor with kind of the bass, down, and then hitting the G with the up, down. So, and then when you hit the B7, you kind of have that whole bass down, up, down, up on the B7. So we tried it that way. We'd have E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, down, up, B7 with an A bass, down, up, down, E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, down, up, and B7 with an A bass, down, down, up. Or if you're kind of digging on the A, you can actually do that with that E bass starting it out too. And then you have E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, up, E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, up, E minor with a low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, up, B7 with an A bass, down, down, up. So those are some different ways that you might want to kind of play around with to kind of back up your voice through the tune on the guitar. Now, one weird thing is to play along with the Finatticz, instead of starting on an E minor chord, they're actually starting on a G minor chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 3rd fret, then now your E minor chord is really a G minor chord, your G major chord is really a B flat major chord, and your A major is really a C major chord. And when we get to the B7, it's really a D7 chord. But you can kind of kick that off with the intro lick, kind of that 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 2, 3, 2, and then open A. Or if you're kind of digging on those accents, you could kind of have the E's together, 3 A's together, 3 E's together, 3 A's together, 3 E's together, 3 A's together, 3, 2 and open, 3, 2, open A and E. And then that we got that tag, that 0, 3, 2, 0, to kind of lead back to that E, G, A, G, E, G, A, G, E, G, A, G, 2, B, C, B, A. Or you could kind of just strum through it by doing that E minor with a down, down, G on the up, down, E minor, down, down, G on the up, down, E minor on the down, down, G on the up, 7 down, down, up, down, E minor, down, G on the up, down, E minor on the down, G on the up, down, E minor on the down, G on the up, down, B7. Or if you're kind of digging on, kind of adding in that A chord, you could have the E minor with the down, G on the up, A down, E minor, down, G on the up, A down, E minor, down, G on the up, A down, B7 down, 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 E minor on the down, G on the up, A down, E minor, down, G on the up, A down, E minor on the down, G on the up, A down, B7 down, down, down. We're kind of working those hits through the tune. Or if you're kind of digging on the bass notes, actually we could do the E minor with the bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with the bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with the bass, down, G on the up, down, B7 with an A bass, down, down, E minor with the bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with the bass, down, G on the up, down, E minor with the bass, down, G on the up, down, B7 with an A bass, down, down, So you might want to kind of play around with that too. But Or if we're kind of digging on the A chord with that, we'd have E minor with the low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, E minor with low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, E minor with low E bass, down, up, A down, B7 with A bass, down, up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, E minor with low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, E minor with low E bass, down, G on the up, A down, B7 with A bass, down, up, down, B7 down. But that's the basics of how you could play Don't Drop That Thun Thun by the Finatticz. So good luck!